How's it going, everybody? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson, and today I've got Volume 4 of Fun and Easy Riffs from the 1970s. Right now, Guitar Control is giving away this really cool free chord chart. There's a link in the description where you can get yours. Every chord you could ever need, all neatly compiled just onto one sheet. It's in a PDF format, so you can print it off, and you can throw it in your gig bag, put it where you practice, just so in any situation you could have any chord you need at a glance, and it's a free download. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at these. Alright, so this time these, well, especially the first two anyway, are more kind of a melody bass than a riff bass so much. So this first one to look at here is like the intro, like little intro melody for It's So Easy by Ronstadt. So we're going to start off, we're going to do a slide from nowhere to the 6th fret of the D string with your 3rd finger. So for those of you who don't know what I mean by a slide from nowhere, let's say it said on the tab, it said show the 4th fret, and then it shows sliding to the 6th fret. So you'd pick the 4th fret and then slide up. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to pick and slide simultaneously. So that's beat 1. 1, and then on the downbeat of 2, we pick that again and then slide down to the 4th fret. 2, and then beat 3 is the 2nd fret of the A string. Then on beat 4, we do the slide from nowhere again, back up to the 6th fret, and that's 4, and on the and of 4, we hit the we go to the 4th fret. So that's the first measure. Okay, then starting on the 2nd measure, we're going to shift our hand position down, so now our 1st finger is on the 2nd fret of the D string. 1, and then on the and of 1, 4th fret of the A string, the downbeat of 2, we're back to the 2nd fret of the D string. Then we do a slide from 2, but it's like it's done the same way with as the ghost or the slide from nowhere, is that we pick and slide simultaneous. So we hit that on the and of 2, and then it's tied to beat 3. Then we go to the 2nd fret of the A string, and we're going to do a slide from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, but again it's like the slurred slide there, the like slide from nowhere. And then back to the 2nd fret of the D string again for the and of 4. Now, on the 3rd measure, slide from nowhere back to the 6th fret on the D string. So that's 1, and 1, and then on beat 2, 4th fret, quarter note. Then we're going to move down to the 2nd fret, 3, and on the and of 3, the 2nd fret of the A string. So how I do it is with my 1st finger, I just kind of roll it down to pick up the A string. Then we're going to do the slide from nowhere, starting here on the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the A string, and then the and of 4, 2nd fret of the D string. And then on the 4th measure, we're going to keep our 1st finger there, and then we're going to take our 3rd finger and put it onto the 4th fret. And I've also got my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret because we're going to bend, and then just, you get a little more leverage this way. It's a full step bend. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So the 4th fret of the low E to the 2nd fret, open. So that's like the little intro right before the vocals start. All right, so the next one we're going to look at is the very first little beginning melody of Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. So this is done with the wah, and it's just a few notes. So if you haven't, if you don't have a wah, you can still play it without it. If you've got, I'm not a real, great wah player. I don't use it a whole lot, so I'm just kind of guessing as I go along with it. So we start off. We're on the 11th fret of the B string with your first finger, and this first measure is just a 2-bar. And then this is a 3/4 notes is a tuplet. So it's like really kind of weird, but it's just a 1, 2, 3 kind of spacing. So what we want to do with how I'm doing that is I'm starting on the low end of the wah, and then each time I pick, I'm maxing it out with vibrato. Yeah, so that's just the first measure. Then starting on the second measure, we're back into 4/4 time, and we're here on the 13th fret of the high E string still, or actually we've gone to the 13th fret of the high E string. So we were on the B string, 13, oh my gosh, 11, 13, if I could count, and then to the high E string 11. Now we're on 13 on the high E, and we're going to do a full step bend and release. So I do that same thing as with working the wah up. Like I said, I'm not really good at that. I haven't really had a lot of experience with it. Just it's never really appealed to me. I love the way it sounds. Other people do it, just doesn't really appeal to me. So we do a bend and release to 15, or excuse me, the 13. And then the second time we release, it's till 11. And then to the 13th fret of the B string. Then we have a rest. And then starting on the third measure, the first beat is a rest. And then we're going to go 11, 13. 2 more rests. Then 11 on the high E string. Now a pull off from 11, or from 13 to 11. Then we're going to move up. So now we're on the 14th fret of the high E with your first finger, and the 16th fret of the high E with your third finger. Now we're going to bend, rest, and then the second one, we release to the 14th fret, and then probably the hardest part on it, we have to jump down to the 12th fret of the G string, and then to the 16th fret on the B string to end it. All right, then the last one we're going to look at is Green-Eyed Lady by Sugarloaf. So this one, it's just a single notes, but it's not as much of a, little lead melody. So we start off, we rest on beat 1, and then on the downbeat of 2, we hit the open low E string. And then we rest on the and of 2, and then we rest on the downbeat of 3, and then on the and of 3, we're going to hit the 5th fret of the A string, and then rest on beat 4. Okay, and then starting on the second measure, it's the on the downbeat of 1, it's the 5th fret of the D string. So we've got like. Then we rest on the and of 2, the downbeat of 3, or excuse me, we rest on the and of 1, the downbeat of 2, and then on the and of 2, we're back to the 5th fret of the A string. So. And then open 1, 2. on the A string. So that's basically kind of the riff right there. And that takes up 2 measures. So starting on the 3rd measure, we start off the same. The only thing that's going to change is that note that is on the A string is going to move down from the 5th fret to the 4th fret. Same thing. Now we're going to do it again. It's going to move to the 3rd fret. So. Okay, then the last part of it, starting the last 2 measures, and this is all quarter notes. 1 to the 1st fret of the A string, to the 2nd fret, and then the open low E again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the last measure, 4th fret of the low E, 1, beat 2 is the 5th fret, 1, 2, then we're going to shift down a whole step, so now your first finger's at the 2nd fret, and your 2nd finger's at the 3rd fret, and this is 2, 3, 2, 3, 3 and 4 and. Alright, so there you have it, Volume 4 of Fun and Easy Riffs to Play from the 1970s. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.